Good now. Dude, it's working. What a miracle. That was actually way easier than I thought it would.
Good job.
All I had was one missing cable, which I should have known was missing. Flick the bottle.
I wish I knew you were going to do that. I would have stopped.
Have you seen... I went to Circus World this summer. I haven't been there in a couple summers. And they have a show, and they go through all of like these old circus music instruments. And one of them is the glass bottles, and they had perfectly tuned all of these different types of glass bottles.
Yeah.
Some of them were like liquor bottles, some of them were like old soda bottles or whatever, and they just tuned it by filling them up with water.
Yeah,
and,
like different levels.
Yeah, different levels of water, and like they were performing actual like classic songs.
That's sick. Actually.
On the bottle. It was so cool.
I would like to see that.
It was.
That's like a permanent thing there.
They've had that for a while. I totally forgot about it, but like they have one music show. It's like 30 minutes, and that's one of the instruments that they do.
That's cool.
It was really cool.
I would go check that out. Actually, I haven't been there in years either.
Dude, this year's worth it. This year's really cool. We went there, and they have a human cannonball this year.
Really?
Dude, it's like 5 minutes. It's worth it. Like just paying in to get there just to watch that is so cool. They don't go like crazy far, right? Like you see videos and pictures from like 1920s or whatever, and people are like going like crazy. But like the form is insane. Like they probably shot them like, I don't know, 30 yards. Which is a big deal. Like, you're not jumping. That's
further than I'm going.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not getting shot 30 yards. But, like, they, like, majestically, like, jump out of the cannon. Not jump out, but they get shot out of the cannon. It's a legit, like, blast.
Right.
And, like, they put their arms out like they're flying. And then they tuck and do, like, a little flip as they land onto this air mat. And then when they land on the air mat, it's super dramatic because of all the force of them going forward and down, like, simultaneously. That angled force kicks the air mat off of the fans, and it sends the mat back like 10 feet.
Wow.
And like pulls it up, and it's so sick.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try to get down there this year. Do you know when they close?
I think they close like Memorial Day.
Oh, okay.
So the first day of September or whatever that is.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure that out.
It's very much worth it this year. They don't have elephants. It's the first year they haven't had elephants. Yeah. But they got like camels and stuff.
Right.
Dude, they got camels, they have poodles, they got ponies, they got everything. And between like the Big Top show's great. Mm-hmm. It's great. I wouldn't spoil any of it, but it's great. The music show's great. They have like, I think probably 6-7 different types of instruments that they test out, and those glass bottles are one of them. I don't know, it's dope. It's worth it. We're recording, by the way.
Oh, of course we are. Mm-hmm. I know. Let's do this then.
All right.
Welcome back to Staying in Tune. I'm Brandon. Sitting across from me, we have Eli.
Yeah, we do.
That feels weird to say.
This is really weird.
I'm not even gonna lie. I was rehearsing that on the way here.
Were you actually? That's hysterical. I forgot what our intro is. I'm not gonna lie.
Yep. So, well, we were working on a theme song before.
Oh, dude.
We were going to have an intro song. And
that was right before we had to stop.
Yeah.
Because we were crazy.
Yeah.
We should get an intro song.
Yeah.
That'd be fire. I could play it live over here. So, like, even if I start recording before we do an intro, like, we'll just do like, oh, wait, we're going? All right. Play the intro song and then do the intro that we've been doing the whole time.
I think the question is, do we create a song, or do we use an already like known song?
Are we allowed to use an already known song?
I think we'd have to look in. I think it depends on like if we're like making money off from the podcast or not. I'm not sure how that works. We'd have to look into it.
I'm gonna Google it right now. That's really interesting. It's an interesting thought. No, get out of here. Can I use a song for an intro to a podcast? Let's see what we got. Let's look at thepodcasthost.com. Podcast music copyright laws.
Oh, you know that's going to be a good website.
Right? Has a nice format. Their logo's a little goofy, but not gonna dock them on that. Okay, yeah. I don't know, we'll look into it. The first line is, it's possible, complicated. I was like, all right, that's enough for me.
Right.
I'm not looking into that anymore. No, dude. Like, by the time this goes out, I bet I'm going to get this out at some point next week. We're recording this on a Friday, right? I think I'm going to get this out at some point next week. But, like, our podcast is going to get flooded with uploads in this next week. Because I think I have, like, through episode 5 or 8 publicized again. For, like, the people listening, I had to take a whole bunch down because I am still teaching 8th grade math. And the 8th graders discovered it because it's the internet and it's easily discoverable because I'm using my first name and they all know my first name. And one day I was gone, had a sub. They discovered it that day, of course. So they were all listening to it in class. And then I got to school the next day. The sub didn't tell me anything about it. I'm assuming he didn't care, or the kids were really good at being sneaky about it. I think probably a combination of the two.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I don't remember what I said in the last 34 or whatever episodes of the podcast.
It'd probably be a good idea to check.
I would like to know exactly what I said.
Yeah.
Like, keep that fresh in my mind and at least go through it quickly and, like, have a filter in mind of, like, I'm teaching. There's kids that I am teaching that know that I have this.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of kids that I'm teaching that know that I have this. Let me make sure that it would at least reflect what I would say in conversation to them.
Right.
Like, as teacher to the student, or from Boys and Girls Club as, like, a staff or a mentor to the kid or to the teen or whatever. So I was like, I need to go through that. And then I got busy and forgot about it a lot. And then I only got to, like, episode 5 or 8 or something like that of getting them back up.
Well, yeah. Well, that's the reason why that's all been gone.
The goal is 30 some podcasts are going to get uploaded.
I think you can do it. That means you got to listen to 30 something podcasts.
That's true. I'm putting them on 2 times speed.
There you go.
I'm going to be that guy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So that's what was happening. When was our last upload? It was the fall of last year, right?
We did one in the fall in your apartment.
Yep.
I
want to say that must have been probably like September or October.
Yeah, it was late September, it must have been early October.
Yep, and that was our last upload.
Was that before or after the Macklemore concert?
I
think it was after.
I think it might have been before.
Was it before?
I can actually it might have been.
Check a timestamp from when the file was edited on my computer.
Yeah. Well, the reason that I bring it up anyways is it's been like almost, 9 months basically since then. Basically a year, really, since we've been seriously into this podcast since last summer.
Mm-hmm.
Not a whole lot of discussion has happened, but I think we're looking at maybe continuing this.
I think we got it. I think we do. Okay, so here you go. I found the last one. The last podcast, theoretically, was episode 33. Okay? And it was the Audacity file I have saved to my computer November 19th.
November 19th?
That's really late.
Is that when it was recorded or when it was uploaded?
That's the episode file save. It says it was created and last modified that day.
That seems way later than I thought it was.
That does. I don't know how that would be possible. But
well, actually, hold up. Did we do a Thanksgiving food draft during that episode?
Oh, we definitely did a Thanksgiving food draft.
I think we did that, and Mackenzie was in the episode.
Yeah, we did do a Thanksgiving food draft.
I guess that time makes sense.
Do you know how I know we did a Thanksgiving food draft?
How do you know that?
Because my students were talking to me about the Thanksgiving foods I picked. I was like, you gotta be kidding me, man.
There you go.
But yeah, we did that.
So I feel like the last couple of episodes, this has been how they've started, but talking about the state of where this podcast is at.
Yeah, I think it's like we're going to have some episodes now, though.
Yeah.
Like here and there. It's not going to be like wildly consistent. But like, I just moved into Baraboo. I'll say that much. So I'm way closer than I was. And like, I don't know, I'm closer to Madison. Madison's an easy drive now. That's easy. I can Madison and back in the morning.
Yeah.
It's really nice. And then like you're in Baraboo once in a while still too. So it's way more convenient.
Absolutely.
It is way more convenient. I have space. There's just space. It's just nice. Schedules work out now.
Absolutely. So that's what that's at.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if you are listening, you're excited to see some episodes coming back again.
What did I say I was gonna? We were talking about something before.
Yeah.
We started
So
recording. What was that about?
We sat down at this table and you started telling me about how you accidentally put your earbuds in the microwave.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Dude,
and I said, I said, how do you do that?
That's right.
And you said, save it for the podcast.
Okay, so for some background information for the people listening, there's not a lot, but we were talking about like the Amazon Prime days just happened this week, and we were talking about like what we got, and like I got, Brandon got some like security cameras. I got a toaster oven and some new earbuds, and then I said I needed some new earbuds because I don't like my AirPods very much, and the new earbuds I got I accidentally put in the microwave. And then Brad was like, how'd you put it in the microwave? I was like, I will save that for in like 20 minutes when we start recording. So yeah, I put my earbuds in the microwave on accident.
Right. Not
really an accident. It's more of I was using a microwave as a filing cabinet.
What?
And then somebody used it. And I think somebody went to try to use it as a timer and ended up starting the microwave. And my earbuds were in there with my files of things. And like, they didn't run it very long.
Yeah.
Right? But it was like a little start-stop thing, I think. And yeah, my earbuds were cooked. Like I tried everything I could to get them to work again.
Yeah.
Nothing would get those things to work. Like the case would light up because they're wireless, right? So like the case is its charging base, right? Yeah. So like that would still light up and be like, hey, charging. But I take those earbuds out of that case, dude, they had no life, no noise, no beeps, nothing. Like they wouldn't take a charge, they wouldn't hold it. They didn't know what they were doing. They were fried as anything. And it was so sad, dude. I love those things. Those things are dope, actually. But yeah, I accidentally put my earbuds in the microwave.
That sounds like a lot of what's the word? I don't know. It sounds like you didn't think about the fact that someone might use that microwave.
It was a public microwave at work.
Yeah.
I was using a microwave at work for a filing cabinet. I swear to God, there was probably 2 file folders of things that I just shoved in there. Because somebody was like, you want a file, like you want a locker or a filing thing? I was like, nah, I'm good. I'll just throw it in the microwave. Like, I was really tired. I'd worked for like 12 hours that day. I'll just throw it in the microwave. And then I was gone the next day. So I didn't think that through. And then when I came back, I was like, all right, I grabbed my stuff out of there. The earbuds weren't working. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So yeah, don't use a microwave to like hold things ever. Just use it for its intended purpose. It's not a it's not a Swiss Army knife of things.
You know, I'm really happy you discovered that for everybody else.
Yeah, it's just that's some real personal advice from me to everybody that's listening right now. Which there's more people listening now than there was. Just as a heads up. Than there ever has been. Just as a heads up.
That's good.
And they're all like 90% of them are people I'm going to see every day this school year, and they're going to make fun of me for it.
I'm so cool with that.
It doesn't affect you at all. It only affects me.
Well, it is what it is, right?
I'll be fine. Never put your earbuds in the microwave, people. But yeah, so those earbuds are dope. So
yeah, what kind are they?
So they're air conducting earbuds. Okay?
Yeah.
So ear conducting, bone conducting, right? Just so like everyone has some reference of like where air conducting came from. Bone conducting was designed to help like people that are hard of hearing, right? Like pretty much deaf, not 100%, but like getting there, right? And what it does is like you have a bone in front of your ears, like at the top back of your cheek, right? And like if you just like push down like right in front of your ear, pretty much you'll feel it. It's a big old bone, jawbone sticks out. If you do like certain vibrations into that bone, that actually conducts like into, it's like in, not just past your eardrum, I think I believe what it is.
Yeah.
And sends those music or audio signals to your brain. It's really cool.
Right. No, I was familiar with that. You had a pair, and you had me try them before.
I had a pair in high school, and then I laid down and broke them on a table. I have bad luck with earbuds.
I haven't heard of the air conducting ones.
But so the ear conducting ones also, just as like one thing, bicyclists use those all the time because it's legal for them to bike on the roads while having both ears in.
Oh, I see.
Because your ears are open.
Yeah.
So it's also like open earbuds, essentially, is what the idea is. So like you can road bike and whatever with those on, and you'll still, theoretically, you're still being distracted, but like legally and theoretically, like you can do it, right? So it's really cool. But I wanted something for my bike helmet, because I started mountain biking this year, that didn't really go in my ear, because I get some ear discomfort if I wear something long, especially if I'm being active. I didn't want something that went over it. And I liked the bone conducting stuff. Not my favorite though. Bad luck breaking them.
Yeah.
So I bought these, and dude, air conduction is like, it's not the same idea, right? Like the idea with air conduction is you're not really using the bone, but like it's sending sound waves that are still audible, but like slightly different, just straight into your ear. Like it just hovers over your ear. It doesn't go in it. It doesn't go on it, but it's like it's little loop that goes around your ear like a sport earbud, right? It goes around the back of your ear,
right,
and then comes down in the front like a sport earbud would over it, but never goes in. It just hovers over it. And it's got a little speaker thing, and it adjusts the audio waves just enough that it's audible to you, but not really to anybody else. Like I can have those things pretty loud, and the people around me really won't hear it. Like they would hear it just as much as the bone conduction, because the bone conduction's not perfect either, right? Yeah. Like you still hear it. Like sound travels through solid objects really well, so you'll still hear it. But I don't know, dude. They were dope, and they had like real bass in them.
Yeah, that's
and they held the charge for like 4 hours per earbud and everything. The case could charge it like Apple AirPods and everything. I've never had a pair of earbuds I've loved those, and I only worked for a month because I put them in a microwave. But Amazon Prime Day comes around. They were on sale a little bit, so I bought another pair of those. They arrive tomorrow. I'm really excited.
That's awesome.
I'll show them to you next time we record, because
that's what I was just gonna say.
They're incredibly impressive. Like they're so comfortable. They don't move. I've literally never been ecstatic about a pair of earbuds. Apple AirPods are my favorite, and I hate them. So like that says a lot. I hate my AirPods, but they're still my favorite earbuds I've ever had.
Can I ask why you hate them?
Because of the sound quality.
Okay, yeah.
And I don't like so they stay in my ears fine now, because I've been using Apple earbuds literally since they started this type of design on them, right? Their classic AirPods design wasn't always, for the kids listening, because there's a lot of you now, that wasn't always Apple's earbud design. It used to be like crazy. It used to be a circle about the same size as like a spree, like the candy. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah,
of course.
They used to be like sticking sprees in your ears.
Yeah.
And a spree, I don't know, you have to figure out what a spree is. But like old Apple earbuds sucked. So I've been using, and I'm sure you have too, this design of Apple earbud since they started making it. So my ears have kind of gotten used to it. So it fits fine. I don't have that problem. But I hate the sound quality. There's like, when stuff gets built up inside of them, like earwax and stuff that naturally happens, gets built up in it, and it shoots the sound quality, tanks it. After like 2 months. So my sound quality on them has been trashed for like 1.5 years. And I also don't like their auto like earbud connection and whatever. Because like it'll still be in my ear, and sometimes it'll disconnect from my phone, especially when I'm playing basketball. I'll just be shooting hoops on my own, and it'll just stop playing my music.
Yeah.
Because it detected something that didn't happen or shouldn't have. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's too sensitive. So I hate it for both those reasons. The audio quality and its like automatic detection.
Right.
Like I'd rather just be able to manually start my music and know that I can trust it the whole way. So.
Oh, that totally makes sense. Yeah, absolutely. So
those old Apple earbuds were crazy.
There was a new album that dropped.
Whose?
Like a week or two ago.
Whose?
And I wanted to talk about it with you, see if you listened to it or not. Eminem.
I have.
What are your opinions?
I think it's really, really good.
Yeah.
I think it threw me through a massive loop the first time I went through it. I think it's good. I think there's a level of artisticness that went into it, like the art that went into it and the creativity that went into it is something that I don't think an artist of a caliber like that, or even close to that caliber, has done in decade.
Mm-hmm.
Like that album, the transitions, the interludes, perfect.
That's what I really appreciate about the album.
The whole album is like, you literally need to listen to it top to bottom.
Yep.
Else you miss it, which I love. And like, you don't get that very much. Like the songs had crazy transitions between them.
There's a few in there where you don't really notice that the song changes if you're not watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was an album I was listening to recently too. I can't remember. It was some West Coast hip hop album, like super heavy, like 808 style, like thing that also had those transitions. I was like, dude, I don't remember hearing a new album like this, and I haven't heard one like that in years. That's come out from anybody that I listen to, and I've had 3 now in the last month. Because G-Eazy's also was like that. Because G-Eazy also had a recent album, and his interludes were on point.
Right.
And his transitions between songs were on point.
Yeah, I've like for albums recently, G-Eazy and Eminem, like I love both of these.
Those album structures were stellar.
Yeah.
That G-Eazy album's, I said it, we hung out last week. I said it last week. That album's never going to get the credit it deserves.
Yeah.
Because G-Eazy gets seen as like corny a lot, which is sad. But that album was incredible.
So, what do you think about the actual lyrical content of the album? Because I feel like there's might be some controversy around it.
The offensiveness of it?
Yeah.
Or I don't mind the offensiveness of it because of the history behind all of it.
Right.
Like, he didn't try to create any controversy really with anybody new.
Right.
Like, it was really minimal with new people. It was all people that have had like historic controversy with Eminem and beef with Eminem.
Yeah.
So like, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Just because of the historical value. And it's been widely accepted as valid beef and controversy as far as the last 2 decades have gone.
Right.
With both Eminem and 50 Cent, because a lot of it intertwines the two. A lot of Ja Rule comments. There were some crazy Ja Rule comments. I didn't expect that from Eminem because he's usually quieter on Ja Rule, but I was like, whatever, man. That was fun. The intro song was hard.
Oh, absolutely.
Intro song, every song was hard.
It's only like a minute long.
It was like a minute 40. Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah.
That was a hard song. Jid's song, J-I-D.
Yeah.
That one was crazy. I like Jelly Roll on there. I like the fact that that's the first song I've heard of Skylar Grey in a long time.
I love that song. That might be my favorite song from the album, actually.
That song, the second time I listened to it, made me tear up a little bit.
Yep.
The first time it didn't, but the first time I was trying to grasp everything all at once, so I wasn't listening to it the same way. Second time it almost made me tear up. Same with Jelly Roll's song, even though I know it's a reused chorus, but hearing Jelly Roll sing it, I think it's different. Who sung the original?
I think it is Jelly Roll's song, and they just redid it together.
No, I don't think so, because Jelly Roll performed with in Detroit.
Yeah.
For the opening of something about a month ago.
Hold up.
And
I'm gonna find this.
Because that song's old. Like, that's before Jelly Roll was an art. Like, was a big deal. Because the original song is not called the same thing, is it? I don't know. But I liked that. I liked, what other songs were on there that I liked? Brand New Dance was crazy.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
I don't think there's a single song on the album that I dislike, if I'm being honest. There's some that I prefer over others. I enjoy the album as a whole, though.
I loved Toby.
Oh my gosh, Tobey Maguire got bit by a spider.
But me must have been a goat.
I love that song.
That song was great.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Why can I not find it? All that's coming up is the Eminem and Jelly Roll. It's probably a different name.
I think I think it's a different artist. Because what was the original song? Like Sing Along or something? It wasn't called the same thing. But yeah, dude, Skylar Grey. I haven't heard a Skylar Grey song in
what I see
years.
here. I don't know. It says that Eminem's new song samples Jelly Roll Save Me, which came out in 2023. But you're talking way before that, right?
Yeah, because it's an old Eminem song. I think. I don't know, dude. That album has so many layers to it. Eminem sampled like some crazy things for that. It made me reassess my appreciation for him as an artist.
Yeah. Well, I was really curious for your opinion because I remember talking about Eminem with you before, and I'm a big Eminem fan, but I remember you saying that you weren't as much anymore.
No, I've gone through waves.
Yeah.
I am not a huge fan. I'm not like we're not old enough, but like to like been around really. Like we were alive, but we weren't listening to the music because we just couldn't.
He was big like right when we were born.
Right. But I never was a huge fan of that. Like the catchiness of it, I get it. The comicalness of it, I get it. I get why it's like an attractive artist. But like Marshall Mathers LP2, MMLP2 is my favorite Eminem album.
Yeah.
That album for me is crazy because like what's on that song? The Monsters on that song, like songs like there's so many good like there's Rihanna songs, everything. That album for me was crazy, and there's some songs like when he's singing about Haley on the Jelly Roll and Skylar Grey song on this new album was like that reminds me of the Eminem that I grew up on.
Right.
And like I personally liked the Revival album, which is something that most people didn't like.
Yeah. I
liked that album because it reminded me of those Eminem songs that I started listening to Eminem with. Because like the Monster was I'm friends with the monster. Like that song was amazing. That was one of my
still is.
Yeah. Oh God, I would jam out to that song. I don't know any song from that album, but yeah, I don't know. Those ones reminded me of that, which I liked.
Yeah. And
that took it full circle for me. But like I liked Revival. I liked Walk on Water, even though everybody thought it was cruddy. I actually really liked it. The Beyonce vocals were insane. Eminem stuff I thought was thoughtful. But that was a while ago now. That was like before COVID.
Yeah.
And I didn't like Kamikaze that much.
Yeah.
I thought that like the verses were really hard and everything. But like the song the appealingness of the song to my ears was not the same.
Right.
Like how appealing it was to me. So no, I like it. I've listened to it a lot, actually. I probably listened to that album in full 10 plus times in the last week.
Same. I've just been listening to it in the car when I'm driving.
It's hard.
It's just on repeat. Which I don't actually often do with albums. I usually listen to a full album through like one or two times.
Yeah.
And then I pick the few songs that I like more on there and I just keep listening to those ones.
I've had some really good luck with albums that I like from the artists that I like.
Yeah.
Like even that new G-Eazy album, I've listened to a lot, like in full.
That I was listening to that on repeat before this one came out.
Yeah, he crushed that. Yeah, I'm shocked. Every Jack Harlow album, I can listen to full. Every G-Eazy album I can. There's a lot of Nav. I don't think you'd listen to Nav. That's not your type of artist. But listen to a lot of his albums in full. NF I'll listen to in full.
Oh yeah.
E40, J. Cole I'll listen to in full. Drake I'll listen to in full. A lot of Lil Wayne stuff and 2 Chainz stuff I'll listen to in full. And Nothing Nowhere, which is Lane's guy, has an album and it's so good, dude. Has Lane made you listen to any Nothing Nowhere?
No, I haven't heard of that.
Dark Magic by Nothing Nowhere came out at the beginning of this year. It's an alternative album. Alternative rock, rap, and just some cool synths in there. Hard album. You need to listen to that.
Yeah, can you send it to me so I don't forget?
I will. What do you want it on Spotify?
Just whatever.
I'll just send you a screenshot.
Whatever, you can send it to me.
The thing's insane. That is... Lane could talk your ear off about it. We were talking about it while fishing last week. But, like, dude is insane. And apparently he has another album I haven't listened to that came out that Lane said was pretty good, but different style. Dude hits every style. He has the sickest interludes, transitions between songs. But, like, I don't know. I've lucked out with... I have some good albums I can listen to in full.
Yeah,
I love that. That's more fun for me right now than a playlist.
Yeah.
Big Sean, I've listened to Dark Skies like 4 times in the last week also. Yeah. In full. Big Sean albums are one I can listen to in full too.
I think it's helpful when you have one like Eminem's newest one where you want to listen to it in full, like the way it just flows and makes sense when you listen to it in full, in order specifically.
It really, it does. There was people, have you seen the thing, like what if you listen to it in reverse order?
No, I haven't.
Dude, it's going around now. It's like if you listen to it in reverse order, then Slim Shady kills Eminem. And then they're like, oh, is there going to be a side B to this album? Because Music to Be Murdered By had a side B, side A and side B, which is a great album, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Love both sides of that album.
I actually wouldn't be surprised if there's a side B.
I wouldn't either. But I would be curious what the concept of side B would be.
Yeah.
Eminem's doing like real marketing stuff for this time. He didn't do any marketing for Kamikaze, Music to Be Murdered By, A or B.
I feel like Kamikaze felt like it was just kind of thrown out there.
I think it was thrown out there. It was thrown out there because of backlash from Revival.
Yeah.
He got so much backlash from Revival. And he was like, you know what? Screw everything. I hate everything. Let's just do this.
Yeah.
And he just went crazy on Kamikaze. And again, the lyricism on Kamikaze is great. It's aggressive. It's an aggressive song. Aggressive name for an album. Uses the Beastie Boys album cover remix, which I love that. Beastie Boys are amazing. So I like that, but didn't do any marketing for that album or the 2 after. So the first time he's done marketing in a while. Like he's around. He'd had a pop-up shop because it shows up on my Facebook. I hate Facebook. It shows up on my Facebook. He had a pop-up shop he showed up at a pop-up shop in London.
Yeah,
to do like
I think I actually saw about that.
Yeah, he's all over the place right now.
Yeah,
you can't escape Eminem for the first time since 2014 when like Rap God came out.
Yep,
that's the last time it's been this way. It's crazy.
Yeah, I like the concept, and I don't know. He's like trying to cancel himself and not at the same time. I don't know. I like it.
I don't. Yeah, it's like I don't know, man. It's crazy. I wish more artists would put a concept album out.
Yeah,
like that. Because honestly, as far as concept albums go, this might be the best concept album that's came out since probably some like pop album.
Yeah,
in like the early 2000s.
I think you honestly get more like genuine artfulness from the artist.
Oh, 1,000%.
They're doing that.
1,000%.
And I think you get the best songs doing that way.
I think we got a version of Eminem that's like actually like an actual creative version of Eminem for the first time in a long time.
Absolutely.
I like how he incorporated interludes, styles from different time periods.
Yeah.
And from different albums. That was really cool.
I thought so. Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. I like that a lot. Music's good right now.
It is.
There's a lot of good music right now. It's impressive.
Yeah, I actually I wanted to ask you one other thing, which is changing the topic.
Yeah, you're good.
But so you went through almost basically a full school year of being a teacher.
I'd count it as a full school year.
Yeah.
I missed 3 weeks.
Yep. So what was that experience like?
I think I found something that I want to do for a long time, which is like how I wanted to treat it when I started doing it. But like, I was incredibly successful, like numbers wise. For somebody who just like stepped in after the first 3 weeks. And the first 3 weeks are really important because that's when you're like setting expectations and like, this is how this is going to work and whatever. And those really were not set in those 3 weeks. And I just I showed up. First week was real rough.
Yeah.
That was a rough week. Like my second day, we had a field trip. I didn't know any kids. That was rough. But like, we figured it out by the time October was done, dude. Like, we had it figured out and we were cruising.
Yeah.
Like, I cruised through November, December, January, February, March. And then after spring break, there was a little bit of a rocky period. But then we found our stride and it just carried through the rest of the school year. There was a rocky period. Actually, January was tough. I struggled in January. January was rough.
Seems like these correlate with when breaks happen.
Yep. Those were hard parts for me. But like, dude, I crushed standardized testing. Like, my students crushed it.
That's cool.
I had a class that was dang near 300% growth.
That's awesome.
Which was insane. Like, their projected growth, they got that plus a lot. And I was like, dude, you guys this is sweet.
Yeah.
This is legit. And then my other two classes were like 150 and 180%. So like, they weren't bad either. But like, I don't know. I did really good prepping things. I enjoy the subject a lot. Even my students were like, why do you like this so much? I was like, it was fun. Like, and I would get excited over questions, and they're like, why are you getting excited over things? Like, I'd super nerd out on things at times. Went on tangents. I even, like, toward the end of the school year, I developed like a few like fun lessons that were still like really math related. A lot of teachers will go like give you fun days and then just show like a movie or something, right? Even in middle school, dude, I didn't show a single movie all school year. The only thing I showed was the last day of school. I showed him Donald Duck Goes to Math Magic Land, which is crazy, and it's like a 30-minute skit from like the 80s.
Okay,
Donald Duck, and it's dope. But yeah, like the history of a calculator. I brought him a whole bunch of old calculators, like the first graphing calculator, an adding machine from the 1920s, like actual mechanical machine from it. Right. It was so cool.
Where'd you get that stuff?
Dude, just like I found it. Like, it's like the adding machine I got at a antique mall in Toma. Okay. And the other stuff is like eBay. I just put low bids and won because nobody else is trying to buy this stuff. Right. And like, I bet I could go on eBay right now and get the first graphing calculator ever made. It's made by Casio in 88. I bet I could get it for $15-20. Wow. I got mine for $8. And that was after like a month of just like tossing in a low bid here, a low bid there. Right. So like, I don't know, it was legit. And they really enjoyed it. They liked playing with those things too. It's like, that's really cool. It's like, yeah. Especially like I have a calculator from a 76. And it was before they were even able to put like the square root button on a calculator. Like, they couldn't make a calculator still that was like mass produced, sold to the public with a square root button. They just couldn't do it. Yeah. So I have this one, and it's still huge. Like, it's the size of like a BLT wrap, dude. Like, it's big. It's not heavy, and it runs on a 9-volt battery. Wow. A 9-volt battery. That's so much power. Yeah. So much wasted electricity. Like, a 9-volt battery just to do addition, multiplication, division, subtraction with the basic memory function that can memorize one number as you choose with a LED display that has 8 digits. 9-volt battery for just that.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's crazy. You can burn what's the steel stuff, the steel scrubby things. Yeah. You can burn that with a 9-volt battery. And light it up. That's crazy. I didn't feel
so much
safe,
unused
actually.
Potential.
Yeah. But like, I did that. Mobius strip lesson. I don't know if you know what that is.
Oh, I do. Mobius strip is awesome.
Dude, I went crazy.
Yeah.
Because I did like the basic thing. And then we started cutting up the paper. Started making like Mobius loop chains, some like torus knots, all this like super nerdy math stuff that these kids are not, most of them aren't going to need to use.
Yeah.
But it's like actually really cool. And so many of them, through all of middle school, never had a math teacher that was like really enjoyed their thing.
You're right.
So like, it's like, yeah, dude, math is dope. You're going to learn this. You're going to like it, first of all. Even if you hate it, you're going to enjoy being in my class. And everybody did. I had one student that didn't want to show up to my class. And he had so many other external things going on.
Right.
So like, that's not on me whatsoever.
Sometimes you can't control that.
Yeah, exactly. That's out of my control. But everybody else is like, I hate math, like being in your class. I was like, dude, that's the best thing you could ever say.
Right.
Like there's nothing better to me than that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a dub for me. And the numbers were great. So not only did they like being in my class, but they weren't doing nothing. They all learned something.
Mm-hmm.
That one class that had almost 300%, everybody grew.
Yeah.
Everybody grew. It's so rare to have a class that every single student in that class grows.
That's really cool.
It was wild. I was like, dude, that's so sick. You guys are the best. But like, I don't know. I had fun with the curriculum. I like the curriculum. It covers a large range of math things. Like my coworkers, they're awesome, incredibly smart. Good personalities, everything. Dude, it was dope. It was so fun.
So what was your favorite and least favorite part of the year?
My least favorite part, dude, I don't know what my least favorite part would be. My favorite part is the fact that I got away with not showing up to a lot of meetings and not doing most of my teacher evaluation stuff.
Yeah.
That was my favorite part. Because that's like the really tedious stuff that nobody ever wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I got overlooked all school year. So I never had to do it. And I also got out of most of the first year teacher stuff. And I'm not reinvited to it next year, which means I'm good. So that's probably my favorite part. Because that's like my least, like to do that would probably be my least favorite thing.
Right.
So it's my favorite thing because I don't have to do my least favorite thing, if that makes sense.
That does.
My least favorite thing. Oh, dude, that's tough, man. Probably the assemblies.
Yeah.
I don't like assemblies. I didn't really do nothing. It's just loud.
Mm-hmm.
You don't realize in middle school how loud, when you're a middle schooler, you don't realize how loud a middle school assembly is.
Yeah. Was there anything that happened?
Parent-teacher conferences suck too.
Oh, yeah. I would imagine that.
Just because, like, the relationship I build with the kids is different. And then I gotta be like, I don't know. I gotta reflect on it with the parents at those times.
That's a hard situation to be in, especially if it's with a student that's like misbehaving or something.
Right. And I was really fortunate last year that I didn't have any parent issues out of like the 60 students I had-ish. Like, there was no parent that had a problem with me. I didn't have a problem with any student. I really didn't have a problem with any student. Like, they all respected me enough. Like, I think it's because I'm young enough and I understand enough. Right. And I'm hip enough and everything. Didn't really have that problem. And most of the problems I'll deal with in class. Yeah.
Did you have anything happen over the course of the year that caught you off guard? You're like, you weren't expecting to happen?
The quantity of bathroom uses tied into vaping and pens and that stuff.
That's crazy in middle school.
Yeah. Dude.
Like, I've heard that it's like more there than in high school.
Okay. I'm going to say that's not the case because I'm fairly close to a lot of the high schoolers right now.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of them, but like a good amount of them. And like, they're like, yeah, dude, you can't go into the lunchroom right now without smelling it.
Yeah.
Like, you can't go into the bathroom during lunch without smelling it.
Yeah.
Like, you could walk in there and 3 people come out of the same stall.
Yeah.
That didn't used to be the case when we were in school.
Right.
Because we were in school when vapes just started, like, taking off. And everybody would just walk to the park after school and do it.
Yeah.
Like, that's really what happened. So, like, that was right before it. But to me, that's crazy. And, like, the whole process of catching students in the act of doing it is something I find unnecessarily time consuming.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing. I don't like following guidelines for a lot of things.
Right.
I like if I see something that I know needs to be a certain way, I like taking my fastest way of getting there.
Mm-hmm.
In this scenario, I have to force myself to delegate.
Yeah.
Because I'm not following those guidelines. Like, that's not my responsibility. So, like, I could, and theoretically, like, I could know about something, and it wouldn't be dealt with for a month.
Yeah.
Because they have to go through their whole thing. Like, I can report it, everything perfectly, it'll still happen for the next month.
Yeah.
Which for me is really frustrating. But, like, they got to follow their guidelines. There's so many rules involved with it. And I don't have a problem following them. But, like, I would never want to be that person that has to do that.
Yeah.
Because they get so much crap from the parents.
I'm sure.
So much crap. I was like, I would like to avoid that. I would much rather prefer to be in my room and focus on my stuff.
Yeah.
If I do that, I'm totally cool and I'll have the best time ever. But the second, and I've said this every day that I've been there, the second that I have to worry about other people's things is when people are going to like me a lot less. Because I'm going to start instilling my opinion on things to other people.
Yeah.
And people are going to start liking me a lot less. Not because like what I'm doing is wrong, because I'm so direct.
Right.
And straightforward with it. Like, we had some kids at Boys and Girls Club. Because I'm at Boys and Girls Club this summer. Literally yesterday. And I walked into a room, I was helping this person with getting a TV fixed. Because we just got internet back after a month. It's terrible. But I walk in there and these kids are being doofuses. Like, they're flipping chairs and stuff. And I was like, at that point, I was done.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'd been done for the day. I was just there. I was helping, right? I was like, absolutely not. I just took over instantly. And, like, it's not my job to right now. But I was in somebody else's program. And, like, they weren't mad at me at all. That staff wasn't. They're totally cool with it. Like, we're on a really good page and everything. But I was like, I wasn't letting my supervisors, my boss, nothing. I was like, I'm dealing with this.
Yeah.
Just so you know. It's going to be different. These kids aren't going to like me. Probably for the rest of the summer.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to deal with it. And direct talk. Very direct.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, no. This is ridiculous. You don't flip chairs. You're too old to flip chairs.
Yeah.
Because these kids don't flip. One of the kids I've never seen flip a piece of furniture and nothing. They don't flip a book. I was like, you're going to flip chairs because of yoga? You don't want to do yoga? Dude, I'm be real with you. I hate yoga. Just sit there, do nothing. Watch the yoga video. That's so much better than flipping a chair. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And those kids, they've never been talked to like that. And I was like, part of me felt bad. Like, did I overstep it? I don't know. But, like, that would be the thing. Like, that's the type of thing. Like, the second I have to oversee more things, and I had this at Boys and Girls Club last summer when I was managing that, second I have to oversee things is the second that, like, I start really realizing the nonsense that's happening. And, like, if I hit that gear of I'm going to take over, it's over. Like, I'll be there as long as I need to figure out that thing.
Right.
And I don't want that to happen ever again. Like, I don't want to go down that path ever again. I'd much prefer show up, have fun, have a good time, build good relationships, leave for the day, and have a good time afterwards. So,
yeah. And that's where you're at now, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
It's great. How's, you just got a job.
I did.
Being an electrical guy.
Yeah. I don't remember if I think we discussed briefly on the podcast before that I was interested in getting into that field. But,
I probably did, I think.
Yeah. So, yeah, about a month and a half ago, I started working as an electrician. Basically zero experience. I had like some home remodel, do-it-yourself experience. And that was it, which in the professional trade world is like, you don't have experience. You have bad habits. Right. Because it's true. Like if you think you know what you're doing and you don't know what you're doing,
you don't know what you're doing.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Oh yeah, cockiness. This is not, but it's perceived that way, right? Like.
Yeah. And but like I can recognize that, and I said, you know what, I'm going into this. I don't know anything. It's going to start from square one. All right. And that's what I did. And I have to say, I have learned so much stuff in a month. Like the amount of stuff that I would expect to learn Like, if you asked me, where do you think you would be a year and a half to 2 years after doing this job? That's where I feel like I'm at right now.
That's crazy.
Like, the amount of stuff that I have learned.
You got to get, like, when you learn that much that quick, you got to get home, like, both tired, but also, like, kind of excited at the same time, right?
So, and I was actually just talking to Mackenzie about this the other day. This is the first job that I've had where I don't dread going to work the next day.
Oh, it's a good feeling, isn't it?
Because all my other jobs, I was like, yeah, I got to go. I'm going to go.
Yeah.
I don't want to go.
Yeah.
But I have to.
Yeah.
This one, I'm like, all right, yep, I'm going to work. Dude, can't wait to see what I'm doing today.
Oh, dude, it's such a fun feeling.
Like, then, and there's things that frustrate me and I'm not looking forward to, but overall as an experience, I'm loving learning because I'm learning so much. Yeah. And some of the work is really difficult. And I don't know, growing up, I've had a good understanding of just general things. Like, school was super easy for me. I didn't care about school. And so I didn't do anything at school. Yeah. I was like, this is boring. Right? Yes. I feel like I have no idea what I'm doing. And I actually have to pay attention and apply myself. And it's coming, like, it is coming quick. But I actually have things where I have to sit there and think about it, and I go home and I look up videos like, okay, how do I do this? Make sure so the next day, make sure I do it right. Yeah. And it's been cool because, and I don't know if this is like the way it generally goes, but in my situation, my first day I started out and I was just doing one thing, one very small thing. And I did that repeatedly the entire day. And then the next day I added one new thing to that. Oh, nice. So I learned this new thing and I'm responsible for the thing I did the day before. I like that. I do both those things. Third day, add something new. And it's been that way consistently since the day I started. So now I'm up to like 50 things. Yeah. And now I'm literally to the point where I can just be sent off and like do stuff by myself. That's dope. I wouldn't expect to be at this point right now at all. That's a great way to learn things on the job. I love it. Now, that part of the job is great. Yeah. The company I'm working for, not as great. Yeah. They have a horrible reputation. Yeah. I won't go like super in depth, but they just they're known for not like, they don't pay well and like just like boring stuff like that. But it's a great place to learn. And I mean, I expect to keep going with it, and it's been fun. What's your favorite thing about in the last month then? My favorite thing has been being able to get to a point where I can do something by myself. Yeah. Because I felt since I started, I'm just like following a guy around. And he's like, okay, try this. And he stands there and watches me. And he's like, okay, yep, that was good. He's like, okay, now go try this. And okay, that looks good. Okay, here, watch me do this. Okay, now you do this. Okay, now watch me do this. And now it's more of a, okay, you know how to do all these things. Go do all of them for the day. And at the end of the day, we'll check in and see how it looks. That's sick. And so I'm like, okay, I kind of have a feeling what I'm doing right now. And I get to some situations where I'm like, I'm not sure about this. And I have to sit there and figure it out. And it feels good when you actually do figure it out. Yeah. And I don't know. It's been fun. But, that's what's up. I just like showing up to work and not dreading it. It's the best feeling ever. I have not dread showing up to my main job, be it Boys and Girls Club, teaching, whatever, in like 3 years. Yeah. And when I stopped dreading going to work, because I used to dread going to work all the time. Even like when I started at Boys and Girls Club, I hated it. Like I almost quit so many times. But like it was COVID time, so like I was like, oh, it's my job, dude. Right. What else am I going to do? Work at a grocery store? Bad experience with that. Don't want to go back to a grocery store. So, like, I just stuck with it. And then eventually I was like, dude, wait. School year's going now? Like, I'm cooking now. Like, I'm rolling little by little. And, like, even teaching. Like, I had a really rough first week. Like, there was a couple nights where I was like, is this really going to work this school year? Like, do I have the knowledge I need this last year? But like, and then after that first week, dude, I showed up. That next week was great. I was like, okay, we're here. And then it was just clockwork, dude. Yeah. And it felt great every day. Like, I was excited to see the students. They were excited to see me. Boys and Girls Club, I'm excited to see everybody. It's a new conversation, new thing that we're doing every day.
which makes it fun. Like, it's exciting for me to show up to work. Like, I was talking to somebody literally the other night, and we were talking about like how we really struggled in, like, we were fine academically, but we hated school. Like, that was something I dreaded, dude. I hated going to school. I'd rather do anything. I didn't like school at all.
Yeah.
I liked some teachers and I had some friends, but like, I was like, I hate school. But like college, what am I doing in college? I never knew what I was going to do in college. I was in college. I graduated. I still didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
But like now, like I went through like all that crap. Now I have something I enjoy going to. I don't even think about it. Like, I'll show up. I'll stay longer if I need to, with no problem. As long as I'm not like physically tired, I'll stay.
Yeah.
I'll change my day around a little bit. I'll stay. It's fun. Listen, I'm still working. I'm not just sitting there being a doofus.
Right.
But it's fun. I made it fun. It's great that way.
That's awesome. And
I'm glad that you don't dread showing up to work anymore.
Yeah, I'm so happy. And I haven't really like processed that really until you just asked me about it. Like, it's cool.
It's nice. Like, I bet even like now, right? Like, you're learning, and I'm sure it's probably gonna change over time, right? When you're done learning as much as quickly, right? But like, somebody's be like, hey, it's gonna be late in the day, and they'll be like, hey, you want to look at this thing quick?
Yeah.
Instead of being like, oh, do this or whatever, it's like, yeah, dude, heck yeah, I'll do that. Like, that sounds fun. Yeah. Like, it's something for me to like. I'm sure I don't do electrical stuff at all. I just like making things tangibly, but like problem solving that, or like figuring out how to make something work like that. Even like, I don't care the time of day. If I have the energy, I would be excited to do something like that.
I think that's part of the thing that I enjoy about it is it makes my brain work, like figuring out how to like get a light switch to turn on a series of lights, right?
You're telling me that detailing cars doesn't make your brain work?
Not really. But like, you have to sit there and actually figure it out, and it's a good feeling when you do figure it out. You know what you're doing.
That's what's up.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'd like to potentially in the future too. Like, once I know what I'm doing, like obviously, just like you have a passion for teaching too. Like, because I teach in martial arts, but I think it'd be cool to teach electrical stuff too.
Yeah.
And I'd like to be in that position.
Yeah. But, dude, speaking of martial arts real quick, like, we should probably wrap this up. But I've ran into so many kids now that do karate downtown. Yeah. And I was like, I did that. And they never believe it. I was like, yeah, dude, I did that. I was like, how far did you get? I was like, secondary black belt. And they're like, what? You don't strike me as the type of person that'll make it that far. I was like, I know. I don't strike me as that type of person either. But like, you know Brandon? And they're like, yeah. And you get a lot of mixed comments. So like, some people are like, yeah, Brandon's great. Or like, I don't like Brandon or whatever. I was like, I don't care. But like, it's funny every time. I was like, I know Matt. And then I was like, ask him if he knows me. And they'll come back a couple days later. Like, he said he knew you. I was like, told you. I didn't lie to you. Yeah. Like, I know how those things work, man. Like, I thought it was so funny.
A lot of those kids might not even know me now because I don't teach kids as much anymore. I mostly teach adults.
Right. Yeah. But I was like, it was funny, dude. I was like, ask them. Just ask about me. They know me there. That's awesome. I'm the big dummy that always dinked around during class. But then when it came down to it, just tried really hard. But always dinked around when there was the opportunity to. Oh, yeah. But that's funny to me. I was like, yeah, I'll show up with a secondary black belt. Watch out. Yeah. I'll just show up one day. Tell me what time you got class. I'll show up. I'll be there. I'll teach your class. That'd be hysterical. Yeah. I should actually do that this school year. Just show up one day. That'd be cool. Be like, hey, you got class tomorrow? I'll be there. I'll teach it. That'd probably be good for me. I should probably show up there a few times again since I'm in Baraboo now.
I'd love to do something with you if you wanted to.
Next time you're just stopping by, I'll grab my stuff from home.
I've been getting some other past students in recently too that I've been working with. It's just been fun.
Really? Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Anybody I know or no?
I don't know if you would have known them or not. They're some guys that worked at Ho Chunk. They're security guards that they were getting trained.
Oh, the group of security guards that was there for a while. Yeah. Yeah.
So I've been just started working with them a bit.
Nice. So that's cool.
Yeah, they've been gone since before COVID.
Yeah. I remember them being there though. They spooked me at first, you know. That was like security guards? I'm not talking to you, man.
Yeah.
You stay over there. I'll be over here dinking around with my buddies.
Right.
Nice. That's what's up.
Yeah.
All right, people. We've been recording forever. It's been an hour.
Yeah, maybe we can split this up or not.
I don't think
whatever
we'll split
happens.
it. I think I'll just keep it as one cut. I think that's what I might end up doing.
Yeah.
Like whenever we record, I'll just keep it as one cut.
Yeah. That's probably easiest.
Right, and figure it out from there.
It'll be nice to get back into this though.
I'm excited. I'm excited to start getting through feedback and stuff again. I think why are people calling me? I think I'm gonna put up open response. I want some feedback. The one thing I want is ideas of things to talk about.
Absolutely.
Because I have not brainstormed nothing.
Yep.
For a long time. So any
How about
ideas?
Some suggestions for an intro song too?
Suggestions for an intro song?
I think we were already asking for that before.
Right. Lots of things. You can just pick one or all of them. I don't care. Suggestions from intro songs, suggestions for things to talk about. If there's like a verbal game you think we should play, we'll do it. There's whatever. Like you think creatively if you made it this far in the hour, 3 minutes into this podcast, which I'm sure there's people that have, just literally drop anything in there. If you drop something in there 2 months after we release this episode, I'll still see it.
Yep.
Like it pops up, I get a notification of it, I'll still see it, I'll look at it. Any feedback whatsoever, we're here for it. We'll take it because don't know how consistent they'll be.
Yeah.
But we got episodes, so we're big chilling. This was fun, dude. I missed it.
It was.
This.
I'm happy to do this.
I didn't realize how much I missed this.
And I'm assuming that we'd still be open to having some guests on the show also, if anyone's interested.
For sure. And I'll easy.
Absolutely.
We're just in my apartment. I don't care. It's just like full transparency. I don't care. We're big chilling. I'm going to see if I can get Jesus in here. He lives nearby.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
See, this is fun now. I can pull people. I got a buddy who's coming back. He's actually back today. He's been in Hawaii for a long time.
Wow.
I might see if I can get him to... I'm going to hang out with him next week, but it'll be fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
Are you around at all next week? And no? You're in Madison?
Well, I'll be here one day next week. I don't know what.
Let me know.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah. Might be able to coordinate with him. That'll be really fun.
Yeah.
You know him. Austin.
Yeah. Yep.
He's back for the week. No. Maybe it's not next week. Maybe it's the week after. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Whatever. Whatever. It'll be a good time.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks everybody for listening. I don't remember how we used to do these outros. I think it was a lot like this.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
But thanks for listening. Have a good time. Until next episode. Adios.
Have a good one.